because I know in the UK they've gone into a further shutdown now, like.
Yeah.
So it's weird, man. It's kind of like, look, I'm glad we're going that way. I'm glad we're going to shut down. I think we've got the power of hindsight to see what's happened in the places before us and how drastic things can get. And as we know, bro, the biggest problem in Africa is that the situation is always going to be a bit different. The healthcare is more frail.
The person that died in Zimbabwe actually died because of he had a trauma removed from his lungs.
Yeah.
Like I think a few months ago. Then the only reason that he also died is because they didn't have oxygen, whatever you call it, in the hospital. And then they were told, I read in the news.
Yeah.
So they were told that the family, if you need, because he was at a certain hospital, then they were told by the other hospital that had the equipment to help him, you have to buy the equipment, and we can't bring that equipment back, and we can't also bring him to our hospital, because then that was the whole story, because he might infect people and stuff. Yeah,
it's such like and that case in point is the dynamic in Africa. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not going to be unique to Zimbabwe or South Africa or Namibia. It's going to be a problem all over.
But here, there's no death though.
Yeah. Geez, but you know, I was saying to someone, I was like, generally, sub-Saharan Africa is regardless quite a hardened people. We've dealt with worse things, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the H1N1, which is swine flu, is quite a common strand of flu in South Africa. I think most people have had it without even knowing. India, it still runs rampant, so it's quite like a populist or common strand of flu. So maybe our immune systems are a bit stronger, but I don't know.
I think so.
And also, man, I don't know. We'll see what happens. The thing is, like, public transport and that, and, you know, that's a danger. Being in close proximity, informal settlements, you know, it's close proximity living. It's a lot of people living in a small space.
I don't think they will be able to control that.
They won't. And I think that's the key, man. We gotta stop that before that happens, because.
But the thing is, you can't blame the people, because
you can't.
There's not enough things for them to survive for 21 days.
No, you can't.
People can't survive for a week without having to go out.
No,
and I don't think this will work. I don't know.
It's gonna have to work, bro. That's the problem. It has to work, eh?
It has to work, but only.
Well, I mean, you know, that's a nice point, because I mean, you're a gym owner. You know what it's like at the moment. It's like we can't. Small business owners can't, and it relates to the MMA world in such a big way. We can't go 3 weeks and then be told we have to do it again. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a tough
businesses
part,
just won't come out of that. You know, so it's
it's mad. It's tough, but ish.
But you've obviously got a very strong sangoma, I've noticed, because all of this has happened. You just made it now. You got your fight in. It looked like you got a new contract ready to go before all of this started.
Ish. You know, it's the power of self-belief and the law of attraction.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I was thinking about today. I often like to think about what are the most important questions I want to ask a guest, and this. whole resurgence of Themba Gorimbo, with the the confidence, the Mamba mentality. Just talk us through about how that all came about. What inspired this new wave of confidence, if we can put it like that?
So the confidence that I have is actually through the work I put in. I know I don't leave anything unturned. I work, and through that, I just become more and more confident, because now not that I was not free, but now I'm more free, like, to do what I need to do that suits me. And that's the biggest thing with athletes, like, around the world. Like, it's not really, like, I'm talking from my standpoint. Like, it's not really being on a team, on a big team or anything. It's about doing things that work for you. And for me, what I'm doing currently works for me. And I also say this to the guys on the team: guys, do what works for you. And, like, for me, training as much as I can, as often as I can, works for me. It gives me the confidence and I know I'm not insecure. I wake up for this fight, for this Lyle Karam fight. I promise you, I used to wake up at 3:30 to train at 4 with Sylvester, But then for this fight, I said no. You might have watched my previous countdown and realized I trained my first session at 4, so I need to push it a little bit further. If I have to sleep early meaning 9 o'clock, I have to sleep early and I wake up at 2:30 to go for a run at 3 o'clock. Then I still have my first session, the MMA session with Sylvester at 4 o'clock. Then at least I'm at an advantage. I know that by that time I train, I run 7 kilometers from 3 o'clock, run like 40 minutes maximum, and then quickly shower. I don't have any feeling or like I don't feel like I must eat at that time. So I just quickly shower, off to the gym, then I'm training from 4 o'clock till like 10 to 5. We have to shower quickly because the clients are there at 5 o'clock. Then now, look, before it's even 6 o'clock, how much training sessions have I done already? I'm already ahead. Then straight away at 7 o'clock, when the class is finished, 7 o'clock, I've got another session. Then few clients. And when I'm training clients, one thing I do is I don't just train clients for the sake of training clients, for the sake of them coming there and going out, be fit. No, every client that I train do the same drill that I am doing for my fight. So when I'm teaching them, I'm actually learning as well. So I'm holding pads for them. They will hold pads the same way I'll hit pads when I'm hitting pads with Jamal, with Nomeva, and the same combos that I do. And I explain to them, like, why are we doing this? Why are we stepping? I won't tell them that we're doing this because I'm fighting and this is how you're gonna do it. But without knowing, I explain to them in that way, and I'm learning and teaching at the same time.
Sure.
So I'm like, step to the left with your left leg and throw the cross. And you see, like, I videos of the clients before that, and you'll see the same combo I was doing in the fight. Stepping to the left with a straight right, left hook, right cross. I think I hit Lau Karam 4 or 5 times with the same combo, and it's because he was a southpaw. So with the southpaw, I have to step to the side whenever I hit.
Lead foot, yeah.
So yeah, I did that with the clients and I did it with myself. Then it becomes natural, like then you can tell me what combo are we throwing in this fight. Even if I'm sleeping, I can wake up and tell you we're doing this. And the movement for this fight, I had to limit the movement. And I through training so much and learning so much, I just become better and better and better, and I feel like I do more than all my competitors. All my competitors. Yeah, and I'm never satisfied. I always work, and that's why I have this confidence, and I should live a straightforward life. And that's the other thing. I live a very straightforward life. If I don't like something, if I don't like you, I'm not a guy to pretend. And if I don't like something, I'm not a guy to pretend. Sure. So that I'm very, very, very in a very safe position, because you know what? I know even the people that are around me, if they are around me, they know who I am. They know what I want. They know that there's nothing that is not being said here. Like I'm hiding something in my heart, and I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him. No, I don't have that. So I think that way, I'm very secure. I'm not insecure in a way, and it just gives me more and more confidence for myself. And yeah, it's the work ethic that I put in that gives me the confidence.
So, what do you think at the time made you? Because it was kind of like you were retiring, and it was very fast, and it was very rushed. Was it an emotional decision? Did you need to just take like a step back and evaluate what was happening?
Look, I knew who retires at 27 years old. Nobody. I knew one day I'll fight, but I didn't want to put myself under pressure to say I must fight. And I was opening a gym. I didn't know what the gym was. I remember I literally just started a business without even studying how to be a businessman.
Sure.
It's just from the back of my head, we must do this work ethic and this and that. So I didn't know exactly how to plan things around it. I didn't know how the month of January is going to work, how the month of June is going to work, how the month of September is going to work, how the month of December is going to work in terms of the fans coming into the gym and how things were going to operate. And I'm one person that doesn't like failure. So if I'm doing something, I want to do it 100%. And I want to be with it 100%. So I decided, you know what, and also with the things that were happening, like people, like if I have to go back, like people thought that I was, they named me so many things, many people, and like I don't want to really talk about those things, but it kind of hurt me, and I was losing interest with the sport because I knew who I was, and people were putting names out there for me with the former teammate that I had back then, and without even asking me and say to me why, nobody came to me and said to me, hey, on a man to man, people just have their conclusion in their heads, and they all just turned against me, you know, like they just decided, okay, cool, this is what we were told about Themba, and we are going against him this way. And all of them, some of them reached out now, the former teammates I had, and say, hey, I'm sorry. Privately, some of them came to me and say, I'm sorry. But you know, I understand where they are coming from, because some of them were in a situation where they were forced to be, some of them, like, they know the truth, but they decided to cast a blind eye on it, you know. So it is what it is. Some guys turned against me and say, call me so much and this and this. So I lost interest in this whole thing, and I didn't have trust of the people that were around me those days, you know. Like I'm gonna be honest, I was once at a fight, and when you get to a point where a teammate is betting against a teammate and I'm also on the team, you start questioning if the same people are not doing the same thing to you. So the interest of the thing was not there, and if I don't trust things, I don't wanna associate myself with certain individuals like that. So I turned and I decided to retire and say, hey, I'm gonna retire. And also with the gym and stuff, like, it was the perfect time. Then I retired. Then when things went back to normal, I felt like, okay, cool. And also I had an injury, a neck injury, a bad neck injury, which was very bad. And it was a tough, it was tough times. Like, I have this lack of trust, and I have this injury, and I have a gym that I'm starting. Three things at the same time. You lose passion and interest.
Sure.
And
Somebody's gonna suffer.
Yeah, and you don't want to be that guy that just do it for the sake of money. I don't fight because I need to make money. When I started this, I wrote in a book that I want to be a champion in EFC. I want to go on to be a champion in UFC. That's my goal. I didn't say I want to make so much money. I want to be. It's not my goal. I don't mind living with minimum and just make it to the top. I want to be one of the greatest welterweights in mixed martial arts history. That's my drive. So I didn't want to ruin my career by just fighting, and then you lose, because unfortunately, if you're not in this game 100%, you know, and it's not gonna work for you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's you carry such a unique story. I remember the first time we sat down in Randburg and we went through your story, and it was about the adversities you had faced from being a security guard, from doing illegal mining to working countless, never really sleeping and running to training, and I remember hearing that story and then seeing you retire, and I was quite confused, and I was like, oh, that's not the Themba that sat across from me and explained all of this to me, you know what I mean? So it was quite a shock to me, but it was, you know, I think MMA is such a brutal sport like that I think even in that situation, like, I never stopped to say, like, Themba, what's going on, you know what I mean? You just kind of like, okay, he's retiring, and you carry on with your day, which is such a weird thing. And then all of a sudden this new person arrived on the scene, this new Themba Gorimbo 2.0 arrived on the scene, ready to make things happen.
I actually never, if you say the new person that arrived, like my first coach in MMA,
sure,
Anton Keto will tell you, I was like this many years ago. Now, who I am right now, I was like this many years ago. Then when I came to Johannesburg, I had to fit into a certain system and certain things. And I'm not a guy that fits in.
Yeah.
I want to stand out. Not like I want to overshadow anybody, but I do what works for me. And it didn't work out on the team that I was on, and things were tough. And I was in a position where I'm supposed to follow orders, unfortunately, and do things that need to be done, and some things don't work for you because I'm a guy that needs to be training all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's MMA, I need to be running. For me to be confident, I must go run. I must go swim. And when I was on the team, then if my coach was telling me, "Hey, why do you swim? Are you a swimmer? You need to be improving on your boxing or something," which is right. I don't get me wrong, which is right, but it also doesn't work for me because my confidence comes from my training, and I need to be doing everything.
Sure.
So that's why I say, like, for other athletes, like, it's not where you go, like, in terms of, like, you must go. Like, people now approaching me then say, like, "Hey, we can pay for your stuff like this." I don't need them to do that. We can do this for you. You come and live in America. We get you to train at American top team. We can sort all this out for you. I can do that easy, nice, good. But I have to start again. Now I have to learn how to trust people. I have to learn how to do this. And now we are on a team. I must follow this whole thing and this whole strategy. For me, it doesn't work, unfortunately. So my advice is for the athletes: do what works for you.
Sure.
And I give that same advice to the guys like Sylvester. They know.
Sylvester, pull that mic, just grab the whole stand and just put it closer to you, but then you can have a little dance with us when we call you on.
Yeah, so like I tell the guys on my team, if you ask anybody that is on my team, I don't train with the guys that are the best men in the world.
Yeah.
I am my team, probably the professional guys.
Sorry about that noise. There we go.
So like the professional fighters that are on our team is Sylvester, Diamant, Ray Locolo, who put out of the fight. We give him shit for that. We're actually giving him shit for that because we're telling him, "Hey, you are a..."
I've got a more important question. Has anyone on your team managed to catch Roy Nakamura?
When?
If you roll with him, can you catch him in a Kimura? It's impossible because I've tried 100 times. Because that's all I know is one Kimura. That's all I have.
Nah,
I caught him in it once, and I think he almost picked me up off my feet. And I was like, "Good Lord, son."
He's very strong. He's very strong physically, very talented.
Yeah.
Ish, but Roy is Roy. He's scared of fighting. You know what's funny? We are giving him card on the group right now. We've got a group. The guys here, like, I can show you. See ya. You see, Demat, no more excuses now. You see the Demat. No, your ribs or you have corona. You see, the whole chat. We're giving him shit. We're like, "Yeah, call the doctor," because that's what he was. Roy, you see what I just said to him there. We're giving him shit because he needs to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and hope this thing that we're saying to him will motivate him next time. He mustn't pull out of the fight. Sure. He was very scared to fight, and he can fight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing, Roy, that he can do. He can fight, but unfortunately, I don't know what happens with these guys from. I'm gonna say like it is. Yeah. Most of the guys from Congo are very, very talented.
Yeah.
They got very, very talented. They are physically gifted. They are athletic. They are strong physically. Like they learn fast. Some of them, but unfortunately, they've got this thing. Most of them, like, you get like they've got this thing where when the lights are there.
Yeah, but it's all about, like, I think for a lot of them it's got a lot to do with, like, just the show and being the big man and not actually wanting to fight, and they get there like, shit, now I actually have to fight somebody, you know what I mean? I didn't really want to do that. No, I just wanted to be famous for a little while, you know what I mean?
It's crazy because that's why, like, I give so much flag on this guy. I wasn't named Trezor because he's a talented guy, good, but when it comes to fighting, the guy doesn't want to fight. He either prides himself out of the fights, like they say, or it's gonna, like, I'm not saying this without knowledge. I have trained with him. I know Trezor from when he started MMA. When he started MMA in Cape Town, where I know him when he was studying MMA, and he has done this over and over again. He's pulled out a Roy before as well, and they've got so much talent. Hard.
Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody, this sport.
The guys that are very, very good, Ilunga probably is, I always like say, Ilunga, you are not Congolese, because actually it doesn't look Congolese because it's not like ribbed and all that. Ilunga, Tupac, there's a guy called Tupac, you know Tupac? Trezeguet. He's not scared to fight.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's not scared to fight. Ilunga, Tupac, the guys that I know that you give them a fight, they'll fight anybody. And Anisette.
Yeah.
They'll fight, and they've got a certain way of thinking. They are very confident. They have a certain way of thinking. That's why they're doing so well. Tupac, I think, has only lost like to few fighters, but he's doing so well. He's on a win now.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he beat one of the Congolese. He's fighting another Congolese now. Oh, I mean, it's cancelled.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was.
But they are so confident. They carry themselves differently, but they don't have the Congolese genes. I don't know. Something need to be investigated there.
Now that you mention it, I'm thinking things are making a lot of sense there. It's the guys that aren't shredded that are a bit better. Because doesn't Robo also train with you guys?
Yeah. I mean, I chased them out of the gym. He wanted to use us in a way that's, like I'm very, very, like I said to you, I'm very upfront and honest with guys. I give opportunities to guys.
Sure.
All the guys in our gym, they don't pay to train at the gym. We give them opportunity to train. Your payment is your training.
Yeah.
Your payment for the gym is your training. But then when you come to the gym and you train, then you train for your fight, and straight after your fight, you're out of the gym and you don't show up and you don't come back for a fight. Then when you think that you want to fight again, you come to the gym, I will have a problem with you. And I'm not a guy that will sit and say, let's talk about it. No. Yeah. I'm going to come to you head on like a buffalo, and I'm going to say, hey, get out of here. We don't have to talk twice because you already showed me who you are, Yeah. So unfortunately, I had to tell him, hey, Robo, out of the gym. And he tried to talk. I don't give you a chance to talk to me, like, because you already showed me who you are. And it's hard for people to change, unfortunately.
And Sylvester's always posting things that you're bullying him at sparring. You keep beating him up.
He's the one that bullies people in the gym.
No chance.
No, he bullies people in the gym. Every patient that you see in the gym that has got an injury, it's always Sylvester.
No, not a chance.
No, I'm being honest.
Every gym has to have one of those guys, Sylvester.
The guy is Themba in our gym.
No.
Themba and Roy.
No. Me only when I'm fighting. When I'm not fighting, like when I'm fighting, it's.
That's one of the funniest things about if guys have never trained with a professional fight team, to see that fight contract switch over. Yeah. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, I only experienced it quite recently because like being I'm one of those guys who's become at the third gym now because I wasn't happy kind of thing. How it goes. And seeing that for the first time with my own eyes, it was quite like eye-opening to think, this person will literally kill me. Like, that's what it was, like the revelation. Like, if this was a fight right now, this person would literally kill me. Yeah. And there's nothing I can do about it. Seeing that switch in people like that, everything's fine until that contract signed. And then it's a whole different game. Everything just changes. And you're like, well, okay. Well, something's happened here. It's pretty
the guys,
intense.
They switch on very quickly. And some guys, they stay switched on.
Yeah.
Even if they are not fighting and they're fighting, they just stay like that.
Yeah,
they are very nice, but they're not nice.
So I wanted to ask you, because I can't actually remember how Demart answered the question, but I think he kind of danced around it a little bit. Was the UMF? Maybe we're gonna have to start calling you like the United African Nation or something there, because it's just like Zimbabwe, DRC, Angola, South Africa. Afrikaans wrestlers, Pretoria jiu-jitsu guys. What's happening?
We got an open policy with the guys in the gym, and I come from the same background as many of those guys. That's why I try to give the guys the opportunity to come on the gym. Like, there's a guy that works as a security guard night shift in the complex.
Yeah.
His name is Donna. He came and he said to me when I was coming downstairs from the gym. He came to me and said, Themba, can I come and train? I want to fight. He has never fought before. In January, he came to me. He's like, can I come train by you? I want to fight. Then I will be honest. I was like, I get these people every day. I'm like, okay, cool. See you at 11. He showed up at 11. No background of fighting. He's come from Congo. Obviously, there's some crazy switch there for fighters. he was fighting the guys like he's fighting for a title, throwing bombs and like so. Coming back to your question, it's like we give opportunity to guys. It's up to them to mess it up. Like he works night shift, and he finishes work at 6 o'clock. Sleeps from 6. He at the office in the complex because he doesn't want to go home because he needs to train. So he sleeps from 6 to 10 o'clock. 10:30 is already at the gym, getting ready to train at 11. We train from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Then he chills around, then he trains again, and he just eats. He doesn't even eat proper food, but he's there every day. That's the people that I like to be associated with. Not the people that I don't have to be associated with people that are talented, the best in the world. No, I like people like that because you know what? Even in my position now, they always bring me back to that point where I'm thinking I was like this before. I don't want to go there. And you can see this guy is got that same mindset. He's not happy where he is. He wants to be somewhere. And when he sees me, he's like, I want to be like Themba. And I'm like, I don't want to be there. I want to go further. So it's like, you can call it African Union, but really, the gym is, the idea is to just make us free and happy and make a little bit of money that we can make out of it. We don't really make money. Myself and Themba, we don't take a salary, nothing. But as long as we are free and happy and be able to help people, to the fighters, I mean, we still help people, the clients, they help us, we help them for the service, but we get an opportunity to help the fighters, the people that don't have money to pay for gym fees, sure. And they can train. And the only place I think here in Johannesburg that probably offers that service currently, I don't know the other places, but that can have like 10 guys, 12 guys, 15 guys that don't pay and still use the facility, probably is us, because it's still expensive to have fighters, and I don't blame nobody for making everybody pay. It's expensive because after training they must shower. That's water from the gym. None of our clients shower from the gym. That's water and electricity. They need to boil their tea or whatever they want to do. They need to chill. They need to use the speakers, and they need to charge their phones. It's expensive, but it's that thing of helping. And we know myself and Themba come from the same kind of background where we were helped as well to get where we are.
Sure. And
the best thing that you can do is to help others. That's how I see it.
Awesome, man. It's also awesome to see like the rise of a I don't want to say mega team, but like,
yeah, we know mega.
yeah, it's nice to see a rise of a young gym, and I mean you guys went on a tear last year as UMF. You know what I mean? Like there was fighters arriving, there were wins, you picked up a title. It was a lot of things were happening, you know what I mean? So that was really, really cool to watch, because it's been this FFM CIT thing for so long, you know what I mean? And then it was kind of like, you know, if it was in Joburg, it was FFM CIT. If it was in Cape Town, it was PFA and one other gym, you know what I mean? It was Reps, yeah. So it was kind of like, and so you were kind of sitting watching as an MMA fan, and you're like, well, someone's gonna have to step up here, you know what I mean? It can't be 2-3 gyms competing all the time. It's just never gonna work. And then every time it seemed like a small gym came up with a prospect, the prospect just got wiped out, you know what I mean? Because the guy was maybe he was working an IT job from 9 to 6 and then training like once a day. He just stood no chance, you know what I mean? So it's been quite a breath of fresh air to see. And not just a mega gym, but talent, you know what I mean? Like a lot of talent being nurturing and figuring out how to go about all of this, how to train, how to coach, how to coach fighters and stuff like that.
Do you know what's funny? We actually do not have a head coach in our gym. I'm the one that coaches. I'm a fighter, and I'm the one that coaches the stand up and the jiu-jitsu, and I took that responsibility. Like I need to, because also if I don't get things done, I'm gonna go backwards. So I took that on my shoulder, and I'm doing that. Then Sloan comes and teaches us on a Wednesday. Like we have Sloan. He is a cool guy to us. He offered a service to train us for 1 year for free. He just said, because I like you guys and you help me so much. I mean, and you trust me, and you have helped me in the past. Like. I don't know what he was saying, but he is the one that helps us, you know. And he trained us probably for a year or so for free, and he still trains even us for free now. Here and there we pay. Like now we're starting to be able to pay him, you know. Like now Only now we are able to pay him, but he doesn't want the money. He's like, no, I don't want the money. I do this because I like you guys and you guys are loyal to me.
Sure.
I want to train you, and I train at his gym. And on Tuesday he's wrestling, so I train wrestling twice a week. We were trying to work out to do 3 times a week now, so that you can get him more in the gym. So we got a wrestling coach on a Wednesday. We don't have any jiu-jitsu. I go to Coach Neil because I have to pay private to learn from him. Then when I learn from him, then I come and teach the guys, because the guys can't afford to do the private. He can't make it to the gym to us, so it's kind of hard. So I learn from him jiu-jitsu. Then I come and I teach the guys. And my biggest coach is the internet. If I'm not training, the time that I have, probably 20 minutes, whatever, I go on the internet. I'm watching videos. I'm training. I'm learning something, and the next minute we're doing that same drill. Or I go practice it on new guys. Then after practicing on you, I teach the guys, and we just evolve that way, you know.
Sure.
And I'm just trying to send a message out there that the knowledge is there if you look for it.
Yeah, it is, man. There's never been a bigger time for knowledge, for the quest of knowledge, which is there's actually so much knowledge you can get lost at sometimes. I'm just like, well, this person shows the triangle like this, and this person like this. Like I don't even know what the fuck to do anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's so many options.
You know what's the best advice I've ever gotten from Floyd Mayweather? He said that there's one day that he wants to be like Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
There's the next day he wants to be like a killer like Mike Tyson. Then the next day he wants to be like Buster Douglas. And he took all these styles, shake it up.
Yeah.
Came out with Floyd Mayweather. That's like you said now, that there's a guy telling you how to do a triangle this way. There's a guy telling you how to do a triangle this way. You shake it up, bring it up, and make it your own. And then just make it unique.
Funny that talk about triangles. That was we were sitting cage side, and I was right next to Warren, and you know Warren gets so excited the second there's any submission. It's like because now it's his time to shine. He's like, because we were waiting for you to change the angle, and like it was quite funny to see, because we've seen submissions from you before. It's not the first time we've seen a submission, especially your style, like long limbs and long arms and legs and crafty like that. But to see that triangle go on, and I don't know if like most people that were there probably didn't realize the little nuances that was going on, the adjustments, the recapture, setting it up again, pulling it in a bit tighter, changing that angle even deeper, and that last angle change, and we were like, we were both. I thought he was going to go out for a second. I was like, that is deep.
I was actually telling him to let it go because I thought
he was telling me to let it go.
You were telling him to let it go.
Yeah, him and Coach Neil.
Long legs like that don't gas, but you should know.
They were telling me to let it go. Then I'm like, I do sprints on hills. I'm not letting it go. And also, like, I also
see, we were facing it head on. We were looking right at Karim's face, so we could see exactly what was happening. We had like the perfect angle on it. Yeah, so I could see there was a stage where maybe you guys probably, it looked like you were going to lose it, and then I think you grabbed your ankle.
I grabbed my shin.
Yeah, you grabbed your shin, and I was like, okay, it's now he's going to set it, and then that angle change came.
Because from our angle, we didn't see much. You just could see Lau's back, and it took
from where we were. He had almost gone 90 degrees across on the I think to Lyle's right leg. You turned to his
left ear.
Yeah.
So
it was insane. He'd gone. And the time it went there, I was like, he's going to go out.
And I didn't pull his, I actually didn't pull his head. My other hand was not free.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Lyle, you know what's fun with that triangle? Let me tell you exactly what happened. I predicted a knockout. I wanted to knock him out.
Yeah.
Because I could see the knockout there. It was there. But in the later rounds, because I knew he was going to come out prepared for the first round and the second round. But third round, he was not going to be able to handle. That's what I had predicted. And I know that he will start shooting desperate, and I'm sharp. I was gonna touch him. Even in the first round, I rocked him. But I wanted to rush him to finish it. Then I was like, no, touch him long enough, he will go down. So I pulled back. Then I'm like, let's do it bit by bit. We'll get it done. What happened during the day when I was because I went to a hotel there at Town Lodge in Mainland. So I was there by myself. Then like around 3 o'clock, I was bored. I was like, I need to fight now, you know. Then I was like, okay, cool. You know what? I normally don't watch my opponents fight, especially on the day of the fight, or even before the fight. I only watch now because Nomeva always wants to watch my opponent's fights. It's like The minute I say I'm fighting this guy, say bring the fight, let's go. You sit. We go to farmers market normally. We go sit there. He's like, okay, Themba, you need to be careful of this. Because remember, that's how, in boxing world, that's how they work. And Coach New also said to me, hey, I need to watch, I need to see, because he's from Absolute MMA.
Yeah.
And Sloan knows me, and he knows the work I put in, and I communicate lots with Sloan, so he was never worried. He knew my wrestling and the way I was wrestling. He knew I was sharp, so he was fine. But I was explaining to you, on the day of the fight, I was at the hotel, and I thought I was bored, and I'm like, let me watch this guy's fight. It's past fight. It's previous fight.
Rather late than never.
Yeah, so like I literally said, let me watch this guy's fight. Then I can tell you, he's lazy with his left hand when he's on top.
Yeah.
Because I looked when he was on top of the previous guy that he fought before me in South Africa.
Stefan
Pretorius.
Yeah.
Stefan Pretorius could have triangled him, but it was against the fence. But also he's lazy when he's on top. I even told him after the fight that this triangle actually planned it that same day, because I never worked being on my back for that fight. On my back, I was working on getting up, or ride it and elbow him from the back.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for. But then I saw the video of his previous fight. He was lazy on his left hand, lazy almost like this, because he knows he's so good. He knows he's so good that not a lot of people can submit him.
Yeah.
So he's kind of lazy with that left hand. So I thought to myself, during the day, I was like to myself, I'll triangle this guy. If he takes me down, I'll triangle this guy. And before the fight, when I was backstage at Sylvester, like I'm crazy. Before the fight, I talk the scenarios. I'm walking up and down. I'm like, if he takes me down, like I was saying, say I'll knock him out and I'll light him up, stand up. I was talking up and down. Then I'm like, if he takes me down, I'm going to triangle him. And literally, I say that the motto was like, oh, okay, because I can read the guy's mind, because I know they worried and they're thinking about me, but I have to assure them that, hey, I got this. So I say, if he takes me down, I'm gonna triangle him. And then the minute he took me down during the fight, I remember during that, oh, this guy's lazy with his left hand. Then I elbowed him, because my game plan was to elbow him, so I wanted to elbow him. Then I was like, no, let's go. Then if you see, it was a very lazy triangle. Just went like this, leg over. He underestimated, because he's so good and powerful that he powers out of things most of the time. So he wanted to pick me up. His coach's first instruction was pick him up. Then I grabbed the leg, because I'm not down on the ground. I'm like, okay, cool. I grabbed his leg. Then he's like, oh shit. Then he thought, okay, he's gonna bite out with punching me. Then that's when he made a mistake.
Yeah, through the hammer fists.
I mean, he was hitting me hard, but he made a mistake by doing that, because by doing that, the triangle was going on, and he was cutting the left vein, the artery. He thought, okay, cool, he was gonna get out, but I looked up and I saw, when I got that triangle, it was on 4 minutes left, and like there was 4 minutes still to the round. So I knew he's a guy that gets tired. I was gonna keep the triangle, and I calculated, if I'm in a submission position, I'm winning the round, and if I keep him for the rest of the round, I've won this round. And that's what I thought. I was like, I'm gonna keep him, and my legs will never gas, and
legs will never gas.
No, he knows what we do for our legs. I mean, it's good that he was worried, but my legs will never gas. So I was like,
what worried me was it was so easy for Themba to trap the other arm. I was like, Lau doesn't, like, he's a good grappler. He doesn't make such mistakes.
Yeah.
The way Themba trapped that left arm was so easy. I was like, is he trying to set up Themba or what?
Trying to like bait him into something.
So when it took time for him to submit him, I was like, oh, here he comes.
No, he was trying. I think he thought, okay, cool, I'm just gonna be like another guy that will just let it go and give up with the triangle, which is a mistake that Stefan Pretorius did in the last fight. Like I always, don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, I know guys will take it wrong, but when I say I'm not a bum, in terms of bum, the thing is, it's easy to win fights when you're fighting guys. Like you might be a winner, good. But when you're fighting guys that are also giving up, and you've got that slight edge of wanting it a little bit better than them, then you end up winning. That's exactly what happened in that fight with Stephen Pretorius. Stephen Pretorius could have won that fight if he had a slight better mindset. Not that I'm not saying I've told this to Stephen straight in his face when I met him at the grappling competition, that hey, I'm not a guy that is like you that do this XYZ like this. You know, I'll do anything to win. If we're gonna put water here and we're gonna drink water, I'm gonna try beat you. that's how. If we go to the shower, like if we are going to the shower to bath, I'm gonna get out of the shower first, and I'm undefeated at that. With Demat, I am like 100-0 on that. That's the only place I beat him. So like it's easy for him to beat guys because when he puts the pressure, the other guys are also when they put pressure, they're going down, the level going down. Then he ends up winning. So he met a guy that goes head on with you, and when he's putting pressure, I'm also putting pressure, and when you're putting pressure, I'm also putting pressure, and in the end, I will do anything until I win. And that's exactly where I beat him with that triangle. He thought, okay, cool, it's not really on because I was not cutting the other artery because he bent his arm like this. So normally the guys will be like, okay, cool, I'll leave it. But in my head, I was like, no, this is the time. You have to finish this guy. And I just kept it until it was done.
Yeah, fantastic, man. It was a great finish. It was great to see just another piece of your ability, which I think was. I know you wanted the knockout, and I know everyone always wants the knockout.
Yeah, because you know what, I had an ultimatum from one of the organizations that not one of the one of mine. So I've got a new management I'll announce soon. Overseas, probably one of the best or the best management, first round management, and like they gave me an ultimatum after that look fight. They were honest with me. They told me, hey, listen here, we've got a big shot of getting into the UFC, but when we pitch UFC for you, the problem is the guys you have beaten. The guy you have beaten last, this look Michael Darocha is good because.
Do you remember there was a podcast trying to say that in a few, not as many words?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I understand. Like you know.
So,
no,
100%. I never take stuff like that personally. That's why if I see it, I always engage because I want to see maybe I did say something the wrong way or whatever it is, you know. But what we were saying, and it's unfortunately, it's actually got nothing to do with you. You're doing your job. You know what I mean? You're promoting, you're winning the fights, you're stopping the fights. You're not like this decision stuff is long past you. You know what I'm saying? So
the only decision I have is Darocha, which I was not happy with. But he was a tough fight, but I was not happy with that win as well. But I still performed as a performance of the night.
For sure. So what we were saying is if I'm the UFC and exactly that, I'm being pitched this guy from who's geographically far away from where we are. He's not in the hub of where we are. Unfortunately, South Africa is in such a secluded area in terms of international MMA. It becomes so tough originally. So I've got to pay XYZ for this guy. We've got to sort visas out. We've got to do all of this. We've got to do all of that. Okay, let's see what he does. I like what he's doing, but who is he beating? You know what I'm saying? That becomes the problem, and it's not. You've done your job, and that's the sad reality.
Our fight was there.
Exactly.
My job is fighting was there, and I'm one guy that won't turn down a fight if the fight benefits me. The Luke Michael fight. If you go back, I didn't want that fight. I didn't want that fight.
No. We know you were very vocal about it.
I say I don't want to fight this guy. Why must I fight him? He doesn't deserve. He hasn't beaten anybody to deserve to be in the cage with me. And people thought I was talking bollocks. You know, like then I came into the cage. He didn't touch me. Sorry.
No, say it. We're on the internet. Yeah, you can say what you like.
I literally I walked out of that fight clean.
Yeah.
Because I told you guys that there's levels. There's levels.
I'm laughing as you're saying this because it was one of the funnier things, and you know, and I remember you saying to Luke afterwards you were going to give him some advice and stuff like that, and I was laughing because you know, and some people are so permeable to who's around them, and then within like a month later, these guys are posting a video about him hitting a piece of cage, and I'm like watching this thing and I'm like, but you're not hitting the cage.
No,
you've been caught with a right hand that's
No,
opened a cut on your head. Like, what are you talking about?
If there's one thing like
I enjoyed
do
that
in a
thoroughly.
fight, you know, I am very, very like sharp. I'm watching and I'm listening
Yeah.
to your breathing. And I hit him. When I hit him, I grazed on top of. It was not a hard punch even. It was a graze. Then-
If you watch the video that they actually posted, you can see the turn of the right hand that
Yeah.
actually cuts him.
It was a 1-2 when I was
Yeah.
moving back with the right. So I saw that, but and then you know he kind of insulted me, and
Yeah.
whenever I'm gonna see that guy, I'm gonna slap him. Because
Can't wait.
Because you know,
Sylvester City's gonna have his phone on.
no, but you know the biggest problem is what? The biggest problem is, you know, I try to be nice as
Yeah.
I can to people that are nice to me, and I offered to help this guy, and I said to him, "Come and train at my gym."
Yeah.
He literally took it the wrong way that I say, "Come and train at my gym." You know what he thought?
Yeah.
Said, "I'm trying to avoid fighting him." I said to him, "Bro, I am not trying to stay here in Africa. My goal is UFC, and that's where I want to go." So he thought, "Oh, why are you trying to call me to your gym and I'm in your division?"
Yeah.
And I just fought you, and he thought I won by lucky. So I had these messages coming from his manager telling me, "Why are you trying to pitch Luke to come to?" I say, he's a kid, and I promise you, he needs guidance. And
Yeah.
the other day, he needs guidance, and he needs somebody. He can go. I don't know if he can go far, but his life needs an engine overall. Like I was honest with him. I said your life needs like an engine overall, from your girlfriend to everything, man. Like to your life, you need the whole engine overall. I'm being honest. I said to him straight in his face. He can watch this podcast and he'll tell you. I said to him, from your girlfriend to everything, you need an engine overall, bro, for you to be anywhere. Like I'm not lying. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
His life, for him to go anywhere, he needs an engine overall.
Sure.
And like, unfortunately, he's not taking that. He is not. People change. But people change. People improve. People make mistakes. But not that guy. I don't know. He's a guy. Luckily, he's got a matchmaker that loves him. If he's gonna get failed to kill us, he'll get killed. I
Yeah.
promise you. That guy will end up being that guy that was. He's got 4 wins and probably 21 losses. I promise you, because you know what, he has to change. You have to accept change. Then he has to change if he wants to get anywhere. So then he's messaging me, his messenger messaging me and this. And I was so nice to him after the fight.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be not. I feel sorry for him because he's not a sharp guy, you know. I feel sorry for him. I felt sorry for him, but now I don't feel sorry for him. If I see him, whenever we're gonna meet, we're gonna have a slap, because you know why? I need to always show him that, hey, I don't like what he said to me, and the messages, I can't put them on the internet. The messages they send me, they insulted me so much. Him and his manager, I mean, I don't know, he's Matt Bartlett.
Yeah.
So whatever you call him, man, the messages they send me and the things, you know, bro, when I see that guy.
So if you see Themba Gorimbo and Luke Mark in the same room, get your phone ready. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, he's not gonna be in the same room with me.
Standby.
He's not gonna be in the same room with me, definitely, because he knows.
Sure.
He knows.
He's one of those guys who has to make animosity in a fight. It's quite weird. Like he can't. It has to be animosity.
But he's not mentally
Yeah.
strong to handle that.
Yeah.
He can't handle that, because you know what? It's either he's gonna take it too emotional and end up getting injured in training, or he's gonna show up fat like he did and not make weight. Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, like I've had 2 opponents not making weight in the past 2 fights.
I told you must tell your son Goma, maybe you must just slow down a little bit.
For this fight, I wanted him to. The Luke Michael fight, they offered me 30% of, and you know how bad it is. You know how bad I feel of myself.
Yeah.
They offered me to take, I think, 30% of his fight pass. And you know what I said to Graeme? I don't want his money.
Yeah.
Just tell him to come and fight tomorrow. I could make more money that night. Extra 3,000, we can go with my boys and we can have Rocco Mamas with that money, you know.
Yeah.
But I said to them, I don't want his money. Just make sure he shows up to the fight. I'll do the
Yeah.
rest. I was so nice to him, and I didn't take his fight pace, you know. And I feel bad, but you know that's my nature. Unfortunately, like sometimes I do things trying to be good, and I end up on the wrong side.
No
and
good deed goes unpunished, eh?
No, you get punished. Like, look, the guy we messaged, I tried to say to him, come train in my gym. Ask Sylvester.
Yeah.
I said to Sylvester, look, Mike is coming on, man. You saw the messages between me and Luke.
Yeah.
I was nice to him, man. I said to him, I don't know. It is what it is, and
It is what it is. Anyways,
yeah.
moving on. That was just I just found that hilarious. You know, like the thing is, sometimes guys realize that they've had a bad loss, and they kind of like to stay relevant or to give the promotion an opportunity to get another fight. You know what I mean? Say these things and like make these claims and say, oh, but this actually didn't happen, and you can say, and then kind of convince yourself whatever you want to convince yourself.
That's the biggest problem.
Keep yourself relevant.
You need to be honest with yourself.
Sure.
I am honest with myself. Most of the time, sometimes I'm not honest with myself, but I have people that are honest with me. Coach Neil will never be like, hey, Themba, you're doing so well, and if I'm not doing, my coach Sloan, he's not a guy that he's gonna brainwash and baby wash you and say, hi, you're doing so well, Themba. No, if you're doing well, he's gonna tell you you're doing well. If he doesn't like something, he's gonna tell you. Demand, same thing. Sylvester, same thing. So where I can't see myself doing where I'm not honest with myself, I have people that can tell me that, hey. And I sometimes argue with them. Then I go home when I'm sleeping. I'm like, this guy was right. Then the following day I change.
We all have to do that. Eh? So I mean, you mentioned the matchmaker then, and like this was the funny thing. I mean, I know, regardless of what's said, some people are going to say that you're here to talk about that, and that's not really what happened.
That is the bigger. I'll put it out there. I had this interview planned.
Yeah.
You wanted me before the fight, and I said I can't do it before the fight. I'll do the Monday after the fight, and here we are.
As luck would have it, we've got you a little bit more fired up than anticipated. So I mean, there was, and you know, it's a funny thing because what gets said by MMA fans and what gets said behind closed doors by MMA fans, besides everything else, is quite funny because while you're speaking, people are asking me what's going on. You know, people are asking me in the public space, and people are asking me in a personal space. You know what I mean? And they're like, oh, not this story again with the EFC, and you know, and like, what's going on? I'm like, listen, guys, I don't know exactly what's going on. Being involved in and I actually said it to a fan this week, and I'm like, he was asking this question. He was like, oh, by the way, what happened between this person and that person? And I'm like, but two things. Firstly, I don't know. Secondly, why are you worried about that? That's somebody's personal business. It's not. That's personal stuff. You know what I mean? If you want to talk about fighting and what's politics of fighting, let's talk about politics of fighting. If you want to talk about politics between two personal people, I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? That's not my thing. I'm not. Sometimes I put myself in it by mistake, but most of the time I'm not involved in personal politics. So that's one point. And the second thing is, everybody wants to know now what's going on with Themba, and I'm trying to say to him, like, Themba's a catalyst to something that's happened here, but it's not just about Themba. That's what people have to remember. So let's just start it off. You and Graeme were having a bit of a spat in a personal space, and it spilled over online, and you're quite upset with the way he's handled things, and yeah.
Look, I'll always have my opinion on things, and he can always have his opinion on things. But when you have 95% of the people on your roster, including your staff that you work with, saying the same thing, I promise you, if I have to open, unfortunately it's private because I can't expose the people that said what they say, because they still need to be paid and they still need to work with him or for him. If you have more than 95% of people complaining about the same thing, you need to look at yourself and say, hey, I have a problem and I need to fix it. And that is the problem here. And I'm telling you, you know, from what you have heard and what you have known, you know what you know, and we can't say it. But unfortunately, me and Graeme go back to 2016. When I was still in Cape Town, I didn't deal with Graeme directly. Anton Keto used to deal with Graeme directly and say to me, Themba, you have a fight. Oh, cool, I'll fight. So we go back to 2016. Myself and one of the guys that actually helped me with my business and everything, Greg, the one that I think after the fight, the Mr. G, whatever. So me and Greg went to Graeme once in 2016 to sign an EFC contract to fight Dave Mazani. It is 2016, right? When did I fight Dave Mazani?
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah,
or
it's 2016. No, it's 2016 because that's the last day he fought, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
2016.
Yeah. 2016 would have been the March.
Yeah, September 2016. But we went to him in August, if I'm not mistaken. In August, July, if I'm not mistaken, because my contract expired with EFC last year. So, we went to him and say to Graeme, listen, Graeme, I'm signing the Dave Mazani fight. And he threatened me that, hey, he wanted me to fight Dave Mazani. Cool. I agreed to the fight, the pace and everything. I never really, because there's no time to negotiate with that guy. Really, if you are in my position and the other guys back then, he will tell you, if you don't take this fight, I'll just give it to someone else that will take it for less or a third of what I'm giving you. And I'm saying this and I have proof.
Yeah.
Funny enough, my phone reboots everything from the chat that I've had with him from 2016, and there's no one chat that it's either he's threatening me, or he's forcing me to do something, or he's telling me take it or leave it, and it's not cool. It's not cool, and let me tell you the story of 2016. What really happened? I went to Graeme. I said to him, I want to come with my manager, somebody that I didn't want to explain further to him. I want to come with my manager. Greg helps me from the bottom of his heart.
Yeah.
You know, he's just a Zimbabwean guy. He's got mines and he's got so much money, and he just found me and he wants to help me. You know, literally like your child, like his child. And like, I want to help you. Whatever you want to do, I want to help you. So I went with Greg. He said to me, no, before you sign the contract, let me go and sit with you and this guy. We went together there. We sat with Graeme. We called him at the old EFC office. We sat with him. We walked in there, sitting with him. Then he came into the meeting. We were trying to talk about the service, contract of service. We put it in front of him. Then Greg said, Graeme, we're respectful, talking nicely and formal way. We said to Greg, I don't know contract. I went to Form 5. I didn't finish Form 6. So I'm not very educated in terms of like contracts, and
What is that? We have to do the maths. I can't even remember.
Form 5. So I don't know how it.
It's matric.
It's literally but it's different.
Zim we have,
So it's an advanced level.
Advanced
level.
Yeah, okay.
So
It's
yeah,
advanced
different,
level. Yeah. So there's ordinary level when you pass
and
O
O's,
level, then you go A level. So I'm saying, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah.
There's people that go to school for this, and Greg is a lawyer. He's got business and mines, and he's an accountant. He's an engineer. He knows better about these things than I do. So he went there and said, I want to talk to you about this part. As he said this part, Graeme said, you know what, guys, I'm not here to fucking get cornered. You guys can go fuck yourself. I'm walking out. He walked out of the meeting. I'm gonna say exactly what he said. If Graeme says what I'm saying now, that he walked out of the meeting and say, you know what, guys, I'm not here, I can recall words. I'm like an elephant. I remember everything and every word. Because he said to me, you know what, guys, I'm not here to fucking get cornered. You guys can go fuck yourself. Walked out of the meeting. Then he calls me 20 minutes when I was with Greg, when we were driving back, he calls me, Themba, don't ever bring that person to my meeting again, to my office again. And if you want to fight Dave Mazani, you can take it or you can leave it. Just like that. Then how would you feel?
Yeah. So my immediate question is.
No. Answer my question.
No.
If you were Themba.
Not even if I was Themba. Me personally, if someone had to talk to me like that, they're gonna get the same response.
But I can't do the same response to him because I still need to fight. And Greg was angry. He's a guy that don't need EFC.
Yeah.
He probably could have helped EFC.
Yeah.
He's got so much money. He was like near to a billionaire, bro.
Yeah.
He could help EFC probably or whatever. I'm just saying, like, it's a guy that you don't know who's gonna help you in life one day.
Sure.
And this guy helped me, man. Greg was so upset that he said to me, you know what, Themba, don't sign this contract. I will pay for yourself and your family to go overseas, go get a visa. I'll get you a visa, go overseas and live in America. Choose a gym. I was talking to AK Jeff.
Yeah.
They say choose a gym in America. You choose. I'll pay for you. You stay there. I'll pay for your accommodation, and you stay there and live there and train there and fight in America. because you know what, you can't deal with this guy. This guy is like a hustler. He's trying to just hustle you into things, and he's not even listening to what you want to say to him. Then I literally had to convince Greg and say, no, please, I need to fight this fight. I really want to fight this fight. I've been training hard for this fight. Then he's like, Themba, if you're gonna sign this contract, it's up to you, and if you're gonna deal with Graeme, it's up to you. Sorry. And I said, Mr. G, I have to fight. I want to fight this fight, and also I love living here. You know.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I've got a house in London. You can go live at my house in London. You don't have to do with this, and you can do something else there. I was like, no, I love fighting. It's like, yeah, making money and this. I say, I understand, we're not making money, but I just love this and I want to keep doing this. Then, someone was angry that is not even involved, to a point where he offered me so much.
Yeah.
Just because of one individual. That just tells you how he handled that meeting. And it was not even a meeting, bro. He walked in, literally said there, when Greg said the first point that he was trying to say, man, he literally said to him, you know what, guys, I'm not here to fucking get cornered. You guys can go fuck yourself. I'm walking out. Walked out. Calls me, Themba, if you want to sign that contract, sign it. If you don't want it, leave it. And I was hurt, but then I had to sign that contract. I signed that same contract. Eventually, I signed it without the knowledge of Greg, and then I told Greg, hey, I had to sign that contract. I had to sign it. It was a 2.5 years contract. I signed it, and luckily it's expired last year in August.
Yeah.
So I fought Luke Michael, not under contract with EFC. They didn't know, and I fought, and I became a champion. Then, I am. I'm a free agent. I was a free agent a long time, and then we worked out something. Myself and Cairo, I've got a good relationship with Cairo. Like, probably you can say something about me bad behind me. Like, everyone can say anything bad. Yeah. But if I have to say anything bad about that guy, I have zero. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have anything to me and Cairo has only had one argument. That's when I called him something that he was not, and I was just being emotional, and I went and apologized to him. That when we went to a big goose day, when I had a problem with him, that's only one, and I was the wrong one, and I admit it. And
So my immediate question is besides it's and I know, man, because it's, and South Africa's a different scenario in MMA because we're quite a close-knit little unit. There's a lot of personalities involved in quite a dense area in terms of MMA. When you've got, in my mind, you shouldn't really, in fact, have to deal with a matchmaker directly. It shouldn't ideally shouldn't be like that. But you should have someone representing you, or they should be communicating, saying, listen, Themba, these are the options we're thinking. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, I mean, as a champion, say, these are the options we're thinking. What are your thoughts, kind of thing. Now, and there's a lot of scenarios. Look, I've said it many times. If I was steering that ship, things would be a lot differently. And I don't even know if there's blame anymore. It's, for me, what I see a lot of in the EFC is this like emptiness where passion used to be. Does that make sense?
I actually addressed that. There is no more passion in fighters. That's the first thing.
But why is that? How does that happen? Because it's got to come from the top. You lead a team. How you lead your team is very consequential to what happens to your teammates. How you lead everything, and whether the guys realize it at the top of the branch of the EFC affects how their fighters respond. So you have to steer the ship in a certain way. You know what I mean? Like you know what I want, a good example for anybody. and this is not a personal attack on anybody. I'm not saying somebody should be doing this. I'm not saying it must be done. I'm not saying this is the answer to all of our problems. I'm just saying, if it was me, in a matchmaker, in a presidential kind of position in the EFC, whatever it was, I'm not that person, and there's a reason for that. But if I was, I would have been at the first RFC. I would have been at Alpha MMA. I would have been at 1 or 2 grappling competitions out of my own goodwill, not for anything, but just to see what was happening, just to give that. You know what it is. I mean, you guys know, if you go to, like, maybe now because you've done so many, but if you go to an amateur event, there's quite like a buzz. They're like, check, Themba's here. You know what I mean? Like, check, guys. Like, the youngsters are quite like, they're inspired. They're like, Themba's going to watch me fight, or Sylvester's going to watch me fight. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It causes that effect on people. imagine now if the president of the EFC arrives at RFC and there's a 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid having his second or third fight, and he sees Cairo, you know what I mean, and he's like, shit, you know, the big boss of the EFC is here. Those kind of things, you know what I mean? And I just think where we're such a small community, you know what's scary is I've seen guys introduce themselves, fighters introduce themselves to EFC staff at the weigh-ins.
Yeah, it's
like that makes no sense to me. I'm like, how do you? This guy fights for you. How do you not know who he is?
Man, you know, I will speak on behalf of many fighters.
Sure.
That I know, that I've spoken to. I've probably spoken to many, especially now as well. Many fighters came to me like, thank you. Staff members say thank you, and you know, you can sort of like see it.
Yeah.
When you get to an EFC event, there's no more passion, bro. Like,
yeah.
There's no more passion. There's no excitement.
It's very sad.
There's no more passion. There's no excitement at the weigh-ins even. Like, you get to the weigh-ins, just a normal karaoke thing. You just go and play and come back. And
to be honest, that's why I'm so glad there was action at the last weigh-in, because I was like, weigh-in is actually is my favorite part of a fight, to be honest.
But no more. It's like no more.
Yeah, these days it's lame. But I happened to be standing next to you as Lau came to the scale.
Yeah.
And I looked at the situation and I looked at you and I looked back and I said to you straight away, I was like, there's a problem. He's missed weight. Yeah. Before they even said anything, we could see it, that there was a problem.
Yeah, man.
And like just to see that action, I was like, finally some action. I know it's cuck because somebody's missed weight, but at least something was happening.
Yeah, you know, it's very, very, very sad. And the thing is, you know, the fighters want to fight.
Yeah.
People can say that money, my brother. I would fight for free.
Yeah.
I would fight for free. I've offered many times to fight for free. I have offered many times to fight for free in EFC. Say, no, I'll fight this guy for free. Then they were like, no, we need to pay you. I'm like, no, you don't have to pay me. You make me, I'll fight. It's cool. I'll fight him for free. Like when my first fight that I was supposed to have in EFC, I offered to fight Henry Fadipe when Francois Kabulu pulled out of the fight, and I was on the same team. I wanted to fight. I just wanted to fight because I love fighting and I was excited. It's EFC and all that. I'll fight for free anyway if I'm respected.
Yeah.
I like respect is end, like I always say, but it has to be a certain level of understanding between two individuals or between the boss and the employee that, hey, I'm the boss, but I still acknowledge that you do this service for me, and I appreciate that.
Sure.
Whereas we're in this position that we are in with Graeme, what he does is that he's actually in a way that he does like a take it or leave it kind of. It's like a take it or leave it kind of situation, or hey, when I need you, I will, kind of thing. He was on a podcast with you, where he bragged about blue ticking me, and I'm the champion.
Yeah.
I'm the champion. I message him. I don't message him for saying, hey, let's hang out for a beer, or hey, let's do this. I'm the champion. I'm messaging you, hey, I'm main eventing the next event. I message him for reason. Hello, Graeme. How are you doing? I hope you are well. That's my first line of messages. Hello, Graeme. How are you doing? I hope you are well. Bro, can I ask you, can I do X, Y, Z? Can you arrange this? Like, for example, I was going through Zimbabwe Sports Awards. I messaged Graeme and I said to him, hello, Graeme, how are you doing? I hope you're well. Please, can you organize me a belt to go with for the Zimbabwe Sports Awards? And, you know, he didn't reply me. Only replied me a few weeks later when he needed me to go to EFC Performance Institute to do a promo video for the fights. And you know what I said to him? I'm busy training. I'm not coming. Because you know why? He treated me that way. I'm going to return the favor that way. Do you get what I'm saying?
Sure.
So if we are in that position with a champion, imagine what he does to the guys that are up and coming.
Yeah.
A guy like my brother, for example, like that you wanted now to fight Tumisao Madiba. Tumisao Madiba has been fighting in EFC for longer than I have been, and then you offer a guy that is only on a 1-on-1, my brother, to fight Tumisao Madiba. Come on, bro. Like, you have reasoning capacity. Then you have the guy that you're trying to breed to be. Look, if I have to be honest, there's a certain thing that he has about certain people. If I have to say it, but I can't say it because I don't have the proof. What I can say is things that I have the proof of. You know what I'm saying? Like, he is a guy that mistreats all these fighters, and he treats certain individuals good because you know why? They might have been coming from a rich background. He's got a certain respect for money, which is a bad thing. For certain fighters, he's got a certain respect for them. Why? Because he's got a certain respect for money. It's like it's a problem because you get a guy in the gym. Let me explain this before.
Yeah, no, I'm listening.
So the problem is, I get guys in the gym training. Even when while I was at FFM or anything, you get guys training in the gym every day. Then when you ask them, are you training every day? When are you fighting? They will tell you, I message Graeme, he don't reply me.
Yeah.
I message Graeme, he don't reply me. Graeme. The first thing that they come out of every fighter's mouth is, Graeme. I message him, he doesn't reply me. Then I'm like, like the other time I had a problem with him is when he was ignoring Sylvester, he had ignored me. Then I'm like, fuck this guy. We're gonna go to his office and say to him. And I went to Sylvester and he even said on the podcast, I went to him and said, Graeme, what you do is. Then he didn't listen to me. Then I lost my shit. I'm like, hey bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of fighters don't like you and how you treat them. And I'm gonna say to you in your face, and I've got the guts to come and say to you in your face. And a lot of fighters don't like you. And even I was in the same meeting with the guys that he works for, in the same room with the guy that he works for. I said to him, even some of your staff don't like you. And I have not I've not spoken to any of your staff because of the way you treat guys. It's a hard. Then he's like, Themba, if I need life advice, I'll come to UMF. I like I told you, I'm an elephant. I remember every word. He said to me, Themba, if I need life advice, I'll come to UMF. I said, it's not about life advice. It's a habit that you're creating, and you think that it's a good habit, and it's actually turning you into a bad person. And you have to change that, unfortunately. Then he lost his shit. He was angry with me, and I went home and I slept very well. You went home, probably didn't sleep. And it's a problem because you know what? The guys want to fight. It's not the money. Africa is Africa, and the money will never be enough here in any sport. I've got friends that play for Kaizer Chiefs. You ask them, are you getting paid well? My friend Kamabilet's getting paid 10 million a year. I ask him, are you getting paid well? Ecom Lions, because you know what? The money still, people just want more. It's Africa. And the guys will fight for less if they have got this guy explaining to them properly. Whereas he gives the guy a fight and a pace, and the guy said, can you pay me more? Then it feels like the guy is nagging, but unfortunately, it's a contract. It's a negotiable contract.
Yeah.
A guy is trying to negotiate with you, and then you tell the guy, hey, I've got a guy from Congo or whatever that can take a third of what I'm offering you. If you don't want it, leave it. I'll give a fight to another guy. Then you know what happens? Okay, give the fight to another guy. Then the guy loses passion and he goes find a job to be a guardian or something, or a security guard or a bouncer.
Yeah.
And then it just kills the talent. There's so much talent, and there's so much talent in Africa. Like I say, like there's so much talent that can go all the way in Africa. Yeah. Here, the people have got enough, man. They're tough already. They can fight. Naturally, you are born a fighter. Yeah. And you can go all the way, but unfortunately, when your passion is being killed, you don't have that enthusiasm to go to the gym to train. You don't have that hunger to say, hey, I want to fight for this guy. It's not the money. Don't blame money and say, yes, there's no money. No, ask any fighter. It's not the money. It's the respect.
Yeah, I hear you 100%, man. And it's the besides everything else, the wasting of talent, man. It's so, oh man, and I think the Luke Michael Petey Coxon fight, all of this started boiling over at the same time. You know what I mean? And like people, like some people, most 99%
does it make sense
people,
to you, that fight?
It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. But
doesn't make sense. Does it make sense to be a co-main event?
Look, on the prelims, cool.
First fight on the guy,
on the prelims,
because
I'm cool.
Peter Coxon, he robbed Dino. It was not a headbutt.
Yeah,
it was not a headbutt. I saw that. I was backstage. I think I fought in the same car with them. It was not a headbutt.
Yeah,
it was not a headbutt. And Peter Coxon, he doesn't deserve to be on the EFC roster.
You see, so and this is always my argument, and it's something I've tried to speak out about quite a bit, and I'm not. It's not a blame game. My theory is very simple, is that EFC, and we all know the financial trouble. We all know the trouble that's happened over the last maybe year, 18 months, specifically. Africa is supposed to be, barring Russia and Asia, who are really on the up. Africa is up there with the biggest hotbed of MMA in the world. It's in there. You know what I mean? Yeah. All eyes are here at the moment. The EFC is the premier organization, and now we've got this opportunity, whether the EFC like it or not. The Howarths have done an amazing job in getting this spectacle going.
Thank
Also,
you for saying the Howarth.
yeah, but they've forked out a lot of family money, and they've taken all the risks, and they've done all this thing, and they've built this thing. And that being said, to Graham's obviously also played his part.
Yeah,
you
he has
know what I'm
played his
saying?
part,
He's
but he's
definitely
killing
played
the
his part.
sport, unfortunately, now.
So, but the point I want to make is you put the spectacle and this platform there, and you're saying, look, this is the best Africa has to offer, and you're putting Luke Michael versus Petey Coxon, and without even being disrespectful to them, that's just not the reality. That's not the reality. The reality is African fighters. We've got a young up and comer, Sylvester Chupumbu,
He asked for fights, and
guys like yourself, Eleni Lunga, who's been on a tear, Aniset, who's now, Aniset surprises me every time he fights, you know what I mean? There's and the wealth of talent goes on. Guys like JP Bays, I think JP jumped the gun to get out of here because he could see, he was like, I can't stay here. He constantly had this feeling like he needed to get out.
Fight?
You know what I'm saying?
When last did Lunga fight? Bro, that guy.
It's a second 2-year layoff in a row.
It's so sad to see, and I hope he sees this Ilunga. He has got so much talent. If there's something that is stopping him, hopefully he fixes it.
Yeah.
But it's sad for him because he's getting these promises. Look now with this corona, and we don't know where we're gonna end with this.
Well,
he might.
Here's another example for you, and it's such a good example for me. Is a guy like Martin van Staden. Martin van Staden is part of this group of guys who were literally
the first guys
building MMA with a hammer and chisel in this country. You know what I mean? Martin, and I don't know how many people, and I don't want to talk out of turn, and I don't know how many people knew what was going on at the time. Martin had big prospects overseas, which he turned down to come back here because he felt he needed to get that belt.
Yeah.
Which he did, and then things didn't kind of go his way. It was like it was the Mazzani fight, which I actually think he won personally. But there was a lot of Mazzani stuff. It was like Mazzani Nation when he was everything was Dave Mazzani.
Yeah, but you know what happens.
But that's what happens. Then he goes on a skid.
They tried to this Lau Karam fight. I promise it was built for me to lose.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and you can see it in his face when he was putting the belt on me, and you can see it in his face at the press conference. He was sitting with disappointment, Graeme Cartmell. And I promise you try pull out some trigger somewhere. But like I'm in a position where if I stop fighting today, it's fine. I'm cool. I can go back to my country. I'll live happy ever after. I've got opportunities in Zimbabwe. I'm not saying this. What I say now, just because I've got these opportunities, but it's get to a point. My purpose in my life is to inspire people and to stand up for what is right. And right now, I'm standing up for what is right, and I'm in a position where I can stand up for what is right. And you can see the guy was very hurt and disappointed. It was like his son just lost, and he thought. And you know what's funny? He offered me big money for this fight. He offered me big money. And he thought, how not? I'll turn it down because Lau Karam is such a threat. No, I believe in myself. I work hard, and no man can stop me when I am 100% and happy. And so, like I said to you, it was a problem with Martin. Martin was winning. Yeah. Winning, beating everybody. But sometimes promotions know who can actually cause problems to your career. And unfortunately, that thing happened to Martin. It was too close decision, but he was a guy, they need you to be a superstar here, not to go overseas. Yeah. Unfortunately, and he fell for the trap. If I have to say it, there was a trap and he fell for it. Yeah. And my advice, and it's gonna happen to somebody soon. There's a fighter that if he doesn't realize it, he's gonna fall for that trap. I won't say them name, but there's a fighter that if he doesn't realize quickly, he's gonna fall for the trap, and they'll find somebody. And like it's a very, 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 very sad world, and it's sad. And unfortunately, most of the people, they do things for their own benefit. And I advise. It happened to Zulu Boy. Yeah. It happened to Zulu Boy, and the fighter. If I have to be honest, man, he's my friend. I'm gonna say it. What's his name? Not Trigus. It's Ige. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. Driggers is good because you know what, Driggers fight overseas. Yeah. Good for him. and he's making so much money, which is very good. But with Ige, he hasn't made money. He's making money to get by here, and it's good. It's good, and it's getting these fights, and it's good. But
Yeah,
you know,
Iggy's-
one day, the problem is they're gonna bring somebody.
Yeah.
One day they always bring somebody, and then that can take you 3 steps back, because for you to get in a bigger organization, you have to be on a 2-fight to 3-fight winning streak, and it is a trap. Some guys need to realize it by themselves, and that person, it's like Ige, he needs to go
Yeah.
now.
Iggy should have gone long ago.
Now, before the trap, he falls for the trap. I'm saying this because I like Ige, he's my friend, and I'm gonna be honest. And I'm so much respect for him. His record is 12-1. That guy's 12-1. Not 12-1 on decisions, knockouts and submissions and finishes. Only decision is calamari.
Yeah.
Only decision is calamari.
Yeah, that was
if
a
I'm not
strange
mistaken.
fight. Yeah.
But he has finished every single guy. Why can't he go and fight overseas? And it's said.
Misinformed, bro.
No,
I'm
yeah,
afraid.
but you know, if I come to you and saying X, Y, Z, look now, Zulu Boy is now selling hot dogs, bro. That guy was on the Dana White show,
Yeah.
and he was on with Henry Cejudo. He was a champion in Africa, and unfortunately, they just it was tough, man. And now you see a champion having to like look. I'm not saying what he's doing is bad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look good for your image.
Yeah.
As a champion that was a former champion in EFC, now you gotta
Yeah,
be.
but I mean, you've also got to survive. So
Yeah,
that's,
so you
that's the
gotta
reality of
do-
the situation.
It's the real.
So the question I want to ask you, twofold question, and we can wind it down. Do you, given the landscape of what's happened in the past to teams and to people that have spoken out against the organization, we've seen guys being sidelined. Do you fear that for the younger guys in your team now, being brash and being outspoken?
Me being like this, I obviously, before I say things, I take calculated measures, and I don't have anything against EFC,
Sure.
the Howard brothers. I only have one problem with Graeme, that is respect. Respect people, and they will respect you back. And for me, I've had many beefs with so many people, but if someone comes to me and say to me, "Hey, Themba," you know, and even you don't have to apologize to me. We can just be cool,
Yeah.
mutually cool. You know, I can be cool with Graeme, but under one circumstance, man, he has to realize what it is, or what is his problem, and it's not just with me. It's with many fighters, ex-fighters, current fighters, and future fighters, and the fans, and the people, the coaches, and everybody. It's ego. He has to come out and go out there, call a meeting with all the fighters.
Yeah.
It will take you 20 minutes maximum, or 10 minutes maximum, to apologize. I'm sorry. You don't have to go and say, "I'm sorry because I walked out of a meeting with you the other day." You can just say, "Guys, I'm sorry, guys, because XYZ, and I'm sorry because it's like this. I apologize. Can you move on from here on a clean slate?" And MMA community will go back to normal. I mean, I don't know if someone comes to you and apologize, and you walk out there and say, "Hey, fuck you," and stuff like that, then you're gonna be sounding like an idiot. You understand?
Sure.
And that's the only problem that needs to be fixed. And with the guys on my team that fight, they have not been fighting for a long time anyway. They have not been
That's
fighting.
because Sylvester had a dance with Brave.
No, Sylvester.
we called it the
And
Chifumbu effect.
No,
You
but
get
we-
straight to the prelims.
We don't mind fighting. We don't mind fighting on anything. We went back to Graeme and apologized about Sylvester. We talked to him. We were man enough when say, "Hey, I'm sorry. We just had to go there and make the money."
Yeah.
We are back here.
Yeah, which is understandable.
And we when Sylvester went to Brave, he didn't say, "Hey, I'm leaving." He said to them, "I'm offered a fight and the money is right. I have to, and I don't have a fight anyway." Then say, "No, they had their own thing with the Brave." So it is what it is. But he went there. We apologized to Calvin. Calvin is a cool, like, I don't know if he's not a cool guy, but Calvin with me is cool because you know what? Calvin doesn't like something, he'll tell you.
Yeah.
If I say, "Calvin, can you give me 4 tickets for the next event?" Themba, I don't want. Or Themba, I don't have. He will reply me and tell me, Cairo, I call him and he doesn't pick up my phone call. 3 days later, he'll call me and the first thing that he says, Themba, I'm very sorry I missed your call on this day. What is it that you wanted? And that gives me respect with the guys. You understand? And if this guy can just come and say, okay, cool, like this, we'll be cool. I understand. Nobody's perfect. And
Sorry, Sylvester, you want to do?
No, firstly, the thing is, when I fought at Brave, I wasn't under any contract. My contract with EFC was done. I went, I fought Brave. I came back to EFC. The reason why I went to Brave is also that I couldn't get fights in EFC. The same thing that's happening now. Like now, I was supposed to fight the same fight card as Themba just now.
They offered him a fight.
I went to see Graeme. He said, you're going to fight Ruben De Beer. Oh, fine, cool. I went. You know, the thing is, people don't understand that. They think that when we don't have fights, we're just sitting and stuff like that. When we have a fight, there are a lot of things that we don't do, that we, opportunity costs that we forego in order for us to be in a training camp. So I let everything go. We started focusing on the fight. And then the next thing, no one told me, we see on Instagram, Manengela and De Beer. No communication, nothing.
No communication, no nothing. Sylvester was ready to fight Ruben De Beer. And he was...
Before I fought, what's his name? Azzy, just now. I was on a 2-fight losing streak, right? I wasn't in, I was nowhere near the...
Well.
Still, yeah. And what I don't understand is when the matchmaker says, okay, Themba, you're going to fight Sylvester. Okay, cool. And then Sylvester says, no, I don't want to fight Themba. And then the matchmaker says it's fine. No, it's not fine. If you don't want to fight, then go do something else. People have to fight. See, now I asked to fight Faiz. And Faiz said, no, you didn't fight properly. You played it safe. Now wrestling is playing itself. This is MMA. If you don't want people to wrestle, go fight kickboxing. Yeah. Okay, so fine. I won't fight Faiz. I'll fight whoever is there. Ruben De Beer. The next thing I see, Ruben De Beer is fighting Manengela. Nothing was said to me. I kept messaging Graeme. He doesn't get back to me. I call him.
You can see his phone, man. He doesn't get a reply. And
I don't mind someone telling me that, Sylvester, we don't have anything for you.
Sure.
For now, I can focus. I'll focus on doing something else that I've been doing before.
Bro, you pay a lot of money to be in camp.
Yeah. This is the reality. I think a lot of people don't realize. Like it's a livelihood at the end of the day, and it actually and I think Warren has said it on you many times, and it's one of the reasons. Like Warren is very honest, and he said he loves competition, he loves jiu-jitsu, but he hated everything about MMA. He hated it. You know what I mean? Like he really didn't like it. It's like he didn't enjoy the feeling. He didn't enjoy the feeling of fighting, and he said one of the biggest problems for him is when he got into camp, he made less money than he did doing his
and he gave that up, you know what I mean?
You spend so much money. You spend money and traveling and petrol, and it's crazy. And like it's your craft anyway. Sure. So you have to do that. You don't blame anybody. But then if you have somebody promising you something, hey Sylvester, I'm gonna give you this, then the guy gets ready. We were in camp, both of us. We didn't want to fight on the same card. Obviously, we don't like fighting on the same card. But I said to Sylvester, no, take the fight, bro. Life doesn't stop because I'm fighting. Yeah. You have to fight. You fight, you come back. Oh, you corner me if you can. If you can't, it's fine. Life doesn't stop because I'm fighting. Yeah. I said to him, no, fight, Sylvester. If you feel like you are ready to fight. Yeah. Then you took the fight and you say, yeah, cool, we're gonna fight. Then 2 minutes later, you see Ruben De Beer is fighting Sandile Manengela. And he was not notified anything. And he messaged Graeme and asked him about the fight. Nothing is said to him. You know how that feels for you?
I can imagine.
Do you know how that feels for you? And you're still tied to a contract. You're still tied to a contract, a long contract. So whether you like it or not, legally you still gotta deal with this monster. So it's a problem, It's not just like I don't understand, bro. It's sad.
I hear you, man. That's not a nice position to be in. It's a tough one.
It is very tough, like people see me posting these things about him. I didn't want to do this.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing is wrong. For my image, it's not good. But unfortunately, I had to do this for the sake of the greater good, because you know why? It's been a long term abuse. Like one day there's a bully that bullies you every day. And one day you just have to stand up for him, like on him. That's what I'm doing currently, and I don't have to. I offered. If you see the chat, I offered. You saw the chat. Like I don't know, like maybe I was rude or whatever, but I was trying to be honest now because, like, bro, people don't like you on the roster. Me and you, we have to sit and talk regarding Sylvester situation. We have to sit and talk about it, and maybe we can finish this issue. Because there's an issue, and we have to finish it.
Yeah.
And then I was honest with him. I went on to say to him, I think I shouldn't have said that. If I'm saying it wrong, it's fine, but I had to say it the way it is. Because then, if I went there and say, I myself, and I said to him, a lot of the fighters on the roster don't like you. Yeah. And they don't like to deal with you. It's not, you need to fix that problem, and it's something that you need to fix. That's why the guys don't want to fight. It's not about the money. It's because they have to deal with you. And I think it's something that you can fix and you should fix. Then he goes, he messaged me like, I said, I remember having you, I don't have to write it, read it now. Like, what the fuck do you think are you talking to me like that? If you and any other fighter don't like me, then bye. Don't communicate with me anymore or whatever, then you block me on WhatsApp. And you haven't paid me. You're blocking me on WhatsApp, and I'm the champion in the organization, and you are the promoter, and then it just stimulated you put me against the wall, I'm gonna come straight at you. And that's what he did, and that's why I'm gonna come straight at him. It's not done. It's not done. It's not done. Until you apologize, it's not done.
Sure.
It's not done because he has to apologize. Not to me. I don't want the apology. Me, I'm cool because I'm not. I know, like, I'm sacrificing myself because, you know, like, I'm still like. They can do whatever they want to do. Like, they've done so many things other athletes that I can't mention. But I'm in a position, like I said to you, I've achieved what I have achieved in my career. I know where I can go. I can go to my country and live happy ever after.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, man, I hope this all gets ironed out. It's you know, I know some people enjoy it. Some people definitely enjoy it, but like, man, I don't know, man.
It's not a good position to be in.
I'm at the end of the day, the whole reason why I'm sitting in this chair talking to you is because I'm a fan, and that's it. That's the reality of it.
You're not a fan anymore.
No, but that's what it is.
I have a question for you.
But let me just finish what I'm saying. I always will be a fan. And you know what I'm saying? And drama is not unique to South African MMA. It goes on. The way, you know, and I think a lot of international organizations are quite brash with dealing with their athletes. Like, this is the fight, you know. I would guess maybe one or two graces. They're going to say, this is option A and B, you choose A or B, and you kind of figure it out. There's a lot more professional ways to deal with the situation, but I just want to see the sport flourishing again, man.
Me too.
I remember writing one of my first articles, even before I came up with MMA Republic. It was about this. I wish I could remember the event, but I've got the worst memory. You need to give me some of that elephant memory.
Just tell me.
No, I can't remember the event, but I remember,
just tell me. I'll remember.
I remember coming home and I was like, you know, MMA, and you could see the goosebumps were starting now. MMA in South Africa is honestly alive. It is alive. It is thriving. It felt like there was this. We were like here, and everything was just waiting to rocket, and then boom, all of that changed. You understand what I'm saying? And it's hard, and it's been hard for fans. It's been way harder for fighters in the position. I know the EFC have struggled, and a lot of us have been patient, but when we start hearing through all of these troubles that guys are not working together and trying to figure it out, it's tough. That is tough.
It is very, very tough, man. Personally, I want the MMA to grow in Africa. That's why I have to, I have to step out now. I have to go and fight overseas, which is what's going to happen now. Also, that gives other guys opportunity to be champions.
Sure.
Yeah, it just gives other guys an opportunity. I'm not relinquishing my belt, and I'm not giving that belt back to Graeme. But when I do so, it's better for. I would like to see a legitimate title fight, welterweight title fight. One guy that I think should fight. Karam still deserves a title shot out of everybody. Maybe if they give Darocha to fight Justin Smith, the winner of that fight, fight Karam. Yeah, it will be a legitimate title fight. I hope so, and I wish nothing but the best to the division in the EFC welterweight division. and the rest of the roster, and I wish nothing, and I just want to encourage the guys that, hey man, work hard, keep working hard, good things will come, and through these circumstances, just keep working hard.
Sure.
You never know what's going to happen in the future. Don't get discouraged with these things and situations. Just keep working hard, keep going, keep going, keep going. Good things will come, and when they come, you'll be ready. And
Fantastic.
yeah, that's what I want. By the way, I got a question.
Yeah, I want to hear your question. That's a powerful message, bro.
Yeah, what happened to the sports award? I mean, to the awards for what do you call this thing? The awards.
The
for
EFC Awards.
EFC
Oh,
awards.
I asked the question. I also get ignored, bro. Don't think it's unique to you. Someone just because out of interest. To be honest, I mean,
He asked me this morning. I'm like, actually, we'll ask that to
So
BigAl.
the last I heard, they were just gonna do like an online thing, which is cool. And then I asked them, I was like, the other day, I was like, listen, guys, like, what's happening with the awards? Like, we made people take their time out to do this stuff.
Interested
And now they're asking us, so, and then I didn't get an answer. So you're not the only one who gets ignored, bro.
No,
I also get ignored.
But I'm just saying, it's good to, like, if you put something out, I'm not expecting to win it, but you should win the Journalist of the Year, you know.
Cut maker of the year as well.
No, I give you crack. I promise you, I watch every podcast that you write.
No, I know. Sometimes I have to stop and think, like, Jesus, he's actually listening to the guy. Because the Mont also came to give me a lot of shit.
Yeah. If there's anybody, I know every podcast that you have ever said, and I listen to everything MMA. If I listen to your podcast driving to a session, then I pause it when I get there. When I'm driving back home, I listen to it again.
There's some guys who do that just so they can go and tell the people what we've said about them.
For me, in the beginning, I used to listen to it so that I can, I wanted, out of interest, I wanted to find out if you're gonna say something shit for me, because I always look for fights. When I was free in 2018, I was only running the gym, so I was looking for problems. I was like, I'm waiting for you.
I think we were still telling Bajin jokes then.
Yeah, they were irritating you, man.
The Martin wanted to kick me.
Nah, you don't understand, man. You don't understand. I messaged you about that Bajin thing. I was not very happy with it, and I was like, hey, bro, you can't say this. And like I know Demad.
Yeah.
I know Demad very, very well. That guy works, bro. If there's anyone that works hard in this world, it's Demad, man. He trains harder than the guys that are fighting, and he's not even interested to fight now. He wants to fight next year. He's like, I say, bro, you need to fight. You can fight. He's like, I'm still busy with Saudi. He's busy.
Yeah.
And if there's anyone that, and for me to see someone disrespecting his work like that, I just
look. There was a lot of things that went on there. We all trying to say our part. At the end of the day, I made a mistake.
No, I understand.
I made a mistake.
That's why I apologize.
It was the way. You know what? And I didn't explain it to Mark properly, so I'll explain it to you. At that time, where I was in the space of MMA media, there was like this pressure to be the first to get the news out. You know what I mean? And that pressure made me not realize that if you look at the Sage website, it's still now you can see 2 cases. You understand what I'm saying? Even now, it's Demar Penner.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like 2 cases.
No, yeah, man, but
if Rock was he would have, because we love that website, he would have pulled it up for you. So when I saw that, and I didn't read the whole thing properly because it's a long thing, it looked like it was 2 separate cases.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then once you guys said, I went back and I was like, okay, I made a mistake. And
man, you don't understand.
That's
but it's water under the bridge, and it's like I said, you accepted that you made a mistake and you apologize for it. Everybody moves on, and that's how life should be. Like if we all accept our mistakes, and I'm not perfect. Like I am willing to apologize to Graeme and say I can say here that hey, I shouldn't have said this on the internet, and it's not right. It's not right for my image, for his image. Like I had a 40-minute call yesterday with Cairo, explaining to him why I was angry and what should be done happening. And Cairo understood what I said, and he said his piece. He said what he had to say, and we talked for 40 minutes, long chat between a man and a man. And we talked for 40 minutes, and we did what we had to do. And but it's very, very, very tough. But I know for me to put it on the internet, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I know I was wrong, and
It's emotion, man.
It's emotions,
Everyone does
but
it.
I will also not say what he does is right. What he does is extremely wrong. So he has to come out, and like I say now on the internet, I'll say it to the camera. I was wrong to put it out on the internet, and I don't say I might not do it, because if I protect myself and I protect my people, if he's gonna disrespect any one of my guys in the gym, and I find out and I see it, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a problem. I don't stop like that. If you hate people that I love and I like, I'm gonna come at you. You know, I came at you for Demai. You know, like I'll come at you, and from what I did is wrong, and I accept it, and I'm not apologizing yet, and I accept what I just said is wrong, and it's wrong, and I should have handled it in a better way, but for him also, for me to feel clean here in my heart, he has to apologize to each and every fighter and say sorry. He doesn't have to listen to my words. He has to say something to the fighters, not to the ones that he thinks he can benefit from.
Yeah.
Like the champions and the few individuals that are on top. Every single fighter, even the ones that the future fighters. And it's never going to take 1 day of his life, probably 10 minutes maximum. And it's life. Everybody makes mistakes, man.
For sure, man. To be honest, I think the internet is a tool that everybody uses for good and bad. Like it's
a safe place.
Yeah, if you want to put it out there, put it out there. You know?
Yeah.
That's the beauty. It's your expression.
Yeah.
Well, man, and I think we can probably harp on it for another 7 hours, but hopefully, for the sake of the fighters, this kind of stuff gets figured out. I think we're in a place where there needs to be more unison, there needs to be more communication, there needs to be more passion, man, and you can't force people to have passion, and I get it, I do get it, but like, it's tough to watch, man.
And we must stop UFC, man. Why not UFC? Why not UFC? I wanna give my prediction on your podcast that one day when it happens, you can come back to this podcast.
Okay.
I will get in the UFC. I'll fight 5 fights. On my 6th fight, I'll be fighting. I foresee Kamaru Usman. I wish him nothing but the best. I predict it being end of 2021, but because of Corona, I'll push it to beginning of 2022. Me and him in the motherland, in the mother city. I'll take the belt from him. Take the belt from him. It will be like a big brother giving the power to the young brother, and I'll take over the belt. That's the guy I want to fight. That's the guy I really want to take the belt from.
Yeah.
And I predict 5 fights. I even predict how they're gonna be like, but for that I'll save it. But I know it's gonna be 5 fights, 5-fight winning streak. It will be a lot of tests, and a lot of tests. Probably my first fight will be a short notice fight, or it will be a normal fight. Win it, then they'll be like, okay, you need to test him a little bit, give him a tough fight. I beat the other guy, then they'll be like a short notice fight with the top 10 guy, then beat the top 10 guy. That's my 3rd fight. My 4th fight, I'll fight probably a guy that is like in the top 10 but legitimate guy. Then they want to test me on my 4th fight and beat him, then fight a title eliminator fight, win it. Then I'll take the belt from Kamaru. I predict that way.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a powerful prediction. I was really editing the video for when you get the belt of what you just said in my head.
Yeah, I wanna, I always want things to be recorded, because I've said so many things that has happened now in my life, but I've said with my mouth without recording it. So I want to put it now, because I know this is gonna be on the internet for a very long time, forever. So it's something I wanna predict, and I wanna say, I put it out there, and I'm gonna work for it. I wish Kamaru nothing but the best. He just has to defend his title 3 more times for me to meet him. I have to fight 5 more guys. He has to defend his title 3 more times. I have to fight 5 times. The 6th time it's him.
Fantastic. Listen, brother, thanks so much for your time. We know we're on the eve, or a couple of eves away from being shut down by coronavirus.
Yeah.
I know you're a very, very busy individual.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank
Be
you.
safe.
Yes, thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on your podcast.
Anytime. What I wanted to say was, We know you've got news coming. I'm not going to ask you about it. I know how these things go. It's very...
Yeah, you know, I was so immature in the
time.
BigAl last year. I was mature, you know, with things I used to...
Yeah.
And it ended up shutting down my other stuff, you know.
So
before
we wait to see. We wait to see.
Yeah, what I can tell you now is just the management part. With the first round management, you know, they gave me an ultimatum in before my last fight. They told me, hey, we can pitch you very well because you can talk, you can market yourself, and you know you can fight. And your fights, most of them are finishes. You got 7 finishes, so we can actually pitch you up to the UFC. But you gotta fight one guy that is very, very hard. They were gonna get me a fight in Brave. Then I said I don't want to fight on Brave show. I want to fight somewhere else. So they say, where can you get a fight? We can't manage you now because we don't manage guys like that. You have to. We want to manage you on a certain point, you know. We need to, but you need for us to have you. You need to be somebody that is very tough. Then that's when I chose Laukar, my 6-0 guy. Then they say, finish this guy. You know what to do. You know how to do it, and if you do what we are telling you to finish him, it's gonna be fine. And I'm on that positive side of the world now, and good things are coming.
Fantastic.
Worst case scenario, I'll be on another show, but good things are coming.
That's fantastic, man. I know how these things go. I know it's very.
Man.
It's not. I know you'd love to say things are happening, but it has to be kept tight for a reason, and we respect that. Everyone stay tuned to your social media, and I'm sure as soon as you can tell us what's happening, you'll tell us. Please don't ask me where Themba is going because we don't know.
Corona must finish first.
Yeah, please, Corona must come. So do your part. If it's for nobody else, do it for Themba. Stay in your fucking house so this thing can go away. But seriously, thank you much for your time, guys. Please stay safe out there. Lock your doors, stay inside, and
man, thank you.
My brother,
Thank you.
See you on the other side.
Yeah,
Peace.
Be safe.